Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the inner sanctum.
Okay, comedy this hour that should make Jimmy in Boston very happy. Marie Wilson, My Friend Irma. An episode from March 15th, 1948. Phone problems in Irma and Jane's household. Let's listen.
Lever Brothers Company, makers of Swan, the soap with the exclusive super creamed blend, presents
Our Friend Swan
with My Friend Irma.
Starring Mary Wilson as Irma and Kathy Lewis as Jane.
Friendship, friendship, just a perfect friendship. When other friendships have been forgot, theirs will still be hot. My friend Irma.
You know, it's tough enough to be the private secretary of an important investment broker with the stock market as it is today. And it's maddening enough to go from Wall Street home to West 73rd Street on that murderous subway. But that is comparative ecstasy to what greets me when I open the door to our apartment and see my beloved roommate, Irma Peterson, standing in the room with a bottle of whiskey in her hand, pouring it on the geraniums. So I say, Irma, why would you pour whiskey on the geraniums? And Irma said,
Jane, the florist said flowers live longer if they're potted.
Normally, a remark like that from Irma is enough to make someone not only go off the wagon, but throw themselves under it. But that's Irma for you, and I love her.
Jane, you seem worried. What's the matter?
Oh, everything's been so hectic down at the office with Richard away.
Where'd he go, Jane?
Oh, well, honey, he's gone to Nebraska on business.
Oh. Jane, what shall we have for dinner tonight? A big juicy steak or a can of sardines? What do you think, Jane? Jane, you're not listening to me.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I guess my mind was in Nebraska.
Well, at least you know where it is. My boss says I've lost mine. Jane, why did Richard go to Nebraska?
Well, honey, he's an investment broker, and with the market the way it is, he wants to get some first-hand information on the availability of farm machinery, you know. You see, Nebraska is the center of the wheat belt, the wheat fields, and the grain elevators.
Oh, they keep the grain in elevators? No wonder the market keeps going up and down.
No, sweetie, it's not that kind of an elevator. Irma, you ought to know about grain. You were born on a farm in Minnesota.
Well, ours was a dairy farm. We just had cows. Jerseys and Holsteins and Guernseys. I remember I always wanted my father to buy a Swiss cow because I love that cheese with the holes in it.
Yeah, honey. You probably wanted to keep a cow in a small bungalow so you could have cottage cheese. Hello? Long distance? Yes, operator. This is Jane Stacy. What? Nebraska calling? Thank you. Irma, it's Richard. He's calling me from Nebraska.
Nebraska? Oh, gee, what a wonderful state. The home of the Idaho potato.
Irma, please. Hello, Richard. Oh, yes, it's nice to hear your voice, too. What? Howard Teichman. Yeah, of course I know him. He's one of your best clients. He's on his yacht, anchored in Long Island Sound, and you can't reach him. Well, what do you want me to do? Will you please get off the line? No, not you, Richard. No, it's the other party on my line. They're always cutting in. We have a party line. Yeah. Now, what were you saying? You were what? Oh, lady, please. I'm talking long distance. I can't help it if your teeth fell down the drain. I was on the phone first. Just a second, Richard. I better write it down. Irma, get a pencil, and take this down, huh?
All right, Jane.
Go ahead, Richard. Go ahead. What's that? You'll call me back at 7 o'clock tonight to tell me whether Mr. Teichman is to buy or sell farm machinery. Yeah? Oh, yes, I know how important it is, Richard. Well, don't worry, dear. I'll get to him on his yacht if I have to swim out to him and back. Oh, I sure do. I certainly miss you. No, not you, lady. Oh, Richard, I better hang up. This party line's just driving me crazy. I'll be waiting for your call at 7. Bye. Oh, honestly, these party lines. I might as well try to carry on a conversation in Madison Square Garden. It's really beyond endurance. Irma, we've got to get a private line.
Well, Al says it's very hard to get a new phone today. He says they won't give you one unless you're a bookie.
Al is ridiculous. There must be some way we can get a private line. Come in.
It's only me, Professor Kropotkin. Hello, Janie and Irma, my 2 little rabbits. One a little Easter bunny, the other a little Bugs bunny.
Why, Professor.
Excuse me, a little joke I thought up for the coming holidays. Girls, do you mind if I use your telephone?
Not at all.
I would use the payphone downstairs, but Al has put so many slugs in it that I'm afraid when I lift up the receiver, a voice will say, "This is your FBI."
Well, you're welcome to use ours, Professor, but we have a party line, so there's always somebody cutting in.
Well, I'll take a chance. I'm calling my old friend, Eli.
Well, Professor, why don't you ask Miss O'Reilly to put a phone in your room?
In my room, it's impossible. No wall in the entire room is strong enough to hang the box on. Hello, Eli. This is Kropotkin. Yes, your old friend from the Milwaukee Symphony. You're glad to hear from me? Well, it's always nice when old friends get together. Wait a minute, Eli. Lady, get off the phone. Can't you see we're talking? So tell me, Eli, how's everything with you? Huh? Hold it. Lady, please, I'm trying to talk with my old friend. Go ahead, Eli. What, lady? Just a minute. You like my voice, lady? Eli, keep still. The lady is talking. What, lady? Well, thank you. I like your voice, too. Eli, please get off the line. Go ahead, lady. I think you hung up. Now, what are you saying? Tonight? I don't know. What time? Eli, is that you again? For goodness sakes, get up. This is not Eli. This is the lady's husband. Sorry, wrong number. Jenny, you're right. These party lines are terrible. Everybody's always butting in.
I know. What can I do about it? Richard's going to call me on an important business matter from Nebraska tonight at 7, and I'm just terrified that he won't be able to get through.
Well, girls, if you want to get your service changed, you got to know somebody important. Who do you know?
Well, I know Al.
Irma, darling, that will change the service. Your telephone wires will be tapped.
Then what can we do?
Girls, these are your own problems. Me, I've got my own problems with my income tax.
Yeah, living alone, you haven't any dependents.
The only dependent I got is my ceiling.
You put down your ceiling as a dependent?
Certainly. Whenever I'm in my room, I have to support it. Goodbye, girls.
Oh, Irma, I don't know what to do.
Oh, you're worried, Jane, huh?
Well, certainly I'm worried, honey. If our telephone is tied up tonight when Richard tries to call me, he may lose one of his biggest clients.
Oh, don't worry, Jane. I'll take the receiver off the hook so nobody can use it.
No, Irma, no. Come in.
Hello, Jane. Hiya, chicken.
Hello, Al, honey. Gee, Al, are you growing a mustache?
Oh, no. This all comes from using the slug at the automat.
What do you mean, Al?
Well, it was eating blackberry pie and could only get the slot half open. Chicken, I've been trying to get you on the phone all day. Who you been talking to?
I wasn't talking, Al. We're on a party line, you know.
Oh, hate them party lines, chicken. When I call you up on the phone and throw you a kiss, I want to know who's catching it. Besides, I've been trying to get you all day to tell you about my latest deal.
Oh, that's the only time I'm glad the line was busy. What is your latest brainstorm, Al? Painting numbers on piano stools and selling them for roulette wheels?
This is one Joe is backing. Must make a fortune.
Well, what is it, Al, honey?
It's a man's suit designed to look like a pair of pajamas. So if the watchman catches you in a store after it's closed, you can tell him you walk in your sleep.
Gee, Jane, isn't Al dynamite?
Yes, and someday someone's going to put a fuse under him and blow him right out of that unemployment line. much as I hate to miss this priceless dialogue, I'm going to go down to the telephone company and see if I can get a private line. Goodbye, kids.
Why does she want a private line?
Well, our phone is always busy, and Jane is especially worried because tonight she's expecting an important business call from Richard in Nebraska.
Well, chicken, she ain't got a chance to get a private phone.
Why not, Al?
Doesn't know the angles. When you're dealing with a big corporation, you gotta throw your weight around. Threaten them.
How, Al?
Chicken, if you want to know how to deal with a telephone company, there's only one man who can help us.
Who, Al?
Who else but... Hello, Joe. Al, got a problem. Irma is having a little trouble with her telephone. Understand you know a couple of collectors with the company. Yeah, you know, those guys who go around taking the money out of the pay stations. Huh? They don't work for the company, they work for you. Well, Joe, how did you get your phone? Uh-huh. 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 Mm-hmm. You told him you were in business. Ventilating? What do you mean? Oh, you open second-story windows. Well, the business angle gives me a thought. Thanks for the lead, Joe. I'll take it from there. Come on, chicken. We're off to the telephone company.
Well, Miss Stacy, let me see. Your phone number is Hilltop 5829.
Yes, that's right.
Now, the telephone company understands your problem and would like to give you a private wire, but we're short of equipment.
Oh, no.
Of course, if it was an emergency, a case of illness...
Well, you see, I live with Irma Peterson.
Oh, is there anything wrong with Miss Peterson?
You have no idea. I mean, she isn't quite right. I mean...
I know. It's hard to talk about things like that. Sickness is something we must all bear at one time or another.
Yes. Then you'll try to help us, Mr. Ritterhoff?
Certainly. We'd be delighted to do anything that would get Miss Peterson back to normal.
Thank you, Mr. Ritterhoff. Goodbye.
Well, chicken, here we are. Telephone company. Let's go in. The man you have to see is Mr. Ritterhoff.
But, Al, I don't know what to tell him.
Oh, just tell him you're in business. But with people breaking in on your telephone line, the customers get mad and hang up. As a result, your business is dropping off. Got it?
Got it.
Let's have it back once just to play safe.
I'm in business hanging customers, but with people breaking the line, my customers drop off.
Hold it, chicken. Just take your time. Come on.
Yes, folks, what can I do for you?
I'd like to have a private line.
Mm-hmm. What's your telephone number?
A Hilltop 5829.
Hilltop 5829. Are you by any chance Irma Peterson?
Yes, I'm Irma Peterson, and I'd like to have a private line right away, please.
Do you live with Miss Jane Stacy?
Yes. Why?
I thought you were sick.
That's ridiculous. I never felt better in my life.
Oh.
You see, Mr. Ritterhoff, Miss Peterson here is in business.
I see. What kind of business?
She's a mannequin.
That's right. I do impersonation.
No,
What's going on here?
Mr. Ritterhoff, I may not weigh much, but I'd like to throw my weight around.
I beg your pardon?
Either you give us a private line or we take our business elsewhere.
Well, miss, that's the way you want it. The telephone company doesn't want to stand in the way of a great impersonator. You may consider your telephone disconnected as of now. The reason? Misrepresentation. Good day.
Well, Al, didn't I tell him?
Tell him. Chicken, they're taking the phone out. Now, how will Richard be able to talk to Jane at 7?
Well, Al, I'm not a genius. I can't solve everybody's problems at once.
Al and Irma have created a real mess. March 15th, 1948, My Friend Irma on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now more of My Friend Irma starring Marie Wilson, March 15th, 1948.
Well, it's almost 7, and I'm waiting here by the phone for Richard's call from Nebraska. Al and Irma are both here, and I don't like the way they're acting. Especially Irma. She has that same expression she had on her face the day she sold my leopard coat for $1 because the man told her that leopards were often known to turn on their masters. Irma.
Yes, Jane?
But You're acting very strangely. There's something wrong?
No, Jane.
Why are you so silent?
Well, you know, Jane, silence is golden.
Yes?
And we want to save up so we can get married.
Well, whatever the two of you are up to, when Richard calls, I don't want any talking.
Don't worry, you won't hear a sound.
Chicken! Of course we'll be quiet, Jane. We realize how important this call is.
Yeah, just so you know, Al. Well, I guess I'll go in the bathroom and wash up. You call me, honey, if the phone rings.
Gee, Al, what shall we do? I wonder if they cut the phone off yet.
Chicken, don't use the word phone. Jane might hear. Refer to it as Louis. I'll know what you mean.
All right, Al. Al, will you lift Louis's head up and see if he's still alive?
Just what I intended to do, Chicken.
Al, I told you to stay off the phone.
Only be a second. Hello? What, Sam? You don't say. Oh, that's too bad. Goodbye.
Al, how is Louis?
Chicken, prepare yourself for a shock. Louis is dead. You'll never hear his golden voice again.
Oh, Al, what'll we do?
Irma, who is this Louis?
Just an old friend. Go back to your washing, Jane.
Well, all right, Al, but stay off the phone now. Call me if it rings.
Oh, Al, now Jane will find out the phone is disconnected. Maybe I ought to tell her.
No, Chicken, that phone has a long cord. She'll strangle the two of us. Got to resort to what is known in the trade as a fast shuffle.
What do you mean, Al?
We'll ring the alarm clock, you grab the phone, and pretend you're talking to Richard. When Jane comes out, you hang up and give her the message.
Gee, Al, are we doing the right thing?
Can't tell till we see how it turns out.
But Richard is to tell Jane whether Mr. Teichman should buy or sell. What shall I say?
Either one, Chicken. Can't stop to become financial experts when our lives hang in the balance. Here goes the alarm clock.
Hello?
What was that?
Just the phone ringing. What? Richard? Yes, Richard.
Richard, Irma, give me the phone.
All right, Richard. Goodbye, Richard.
Irma, what's the matter with you? Why didn't you let me talk to him?
He was in a hurry. It was his last nickel. But he gave me a message.
Chicken,
Richard gave you the message from Mr. Teichman?
Yes.
Gee, that's strange. Well, tell me, was Mr. Teichman to buy or to sell?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, he wants Mr. Teichman to sell.
Are you positive?
Of course I'm positive. Sell. S-E-L.
Yeah. Well, if that's his message, I better get over to Mr. Teichman. Hand me the phone, Al. I'll call a cab.
We'll do it for you, Jane. How do you like that? This darn party line is always busy.
Oh, dear. Well, I'll get a cab downstairs. That party line. Thank heavens we won't have to put up with this phone much longer.
You can say that again.
Well, Chicken, are you a little proud of the way I got us out of that spot?
Oh, but Al, Jan will try the phone sooner or later.
Well, what can we do?
But maybe I can snip the cord with a pair of scissors. Then I can tell Jane the operator is cut off.
No, Chicken.
Oh, maybe we can hang it out of the window. Jane always wanted an extension phone.
Forget it, Chicken. We have survived the crisis. So long as Jane doesn't find out tonight, tomorrow morning you can apologize to the phone company and they'll restore the service, and Jane will never be the wiser.
Oh, Al, you're so wonderful. You put so much confidence in my mind that it makes my head feel like the Rock of Gibraltar.
Oh, hello, Jane. Everything taken care of?
Yeah, I saw Mr. Teichman on his yacht. Of course, he's a little surprised that Richard wants him to sell, but he's given orders to unload. He just left on an overnight cruise.
Well, that takes care of that. Jane, how about going with Chicken and I to a movie tonight? On me.
On you?
Well, sure. Things look pretty good. You know, March is a long month. I get 5 unemployment checks.
All right, Al. Come in.
Excuse me for bothering you so late, girls, but I've got a terrible toothache.
Oh, that's too bad, Professor.
Oh, that Mrs. O'Reilly. I never should have made up with her. Tonight she had to bake me an angel cake. I think she left a harp in it. Janie, could I please use your phone to call the dentist?
Certainly.
You can't talk, Professor. You got a sore tooth. I'll get it for you.
Oh, thank you, Al. Circle 8884.
Right. How do you like that? That dame is still on this party line.
Oh, well, it's about time someone told her off. Hand me that phone, Al.
Oh, no, Jane, we'll be late for the movie.
Give it to me, Al. I'll tell her. Hello? Hello? But there's no one on here. There's not even a dial sound. This phone is dead.
As may be Al and Irma real quick. My Friend Irma, March 15th, 1948, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion follows these messages from your favorite radio station. Here's Mike Lindell talking about getting your best friend something special.
And Mike, you've done it again. You've brought us an amazing line of dog beds.
This has been a long time coming. It starts with the same patented fill for your dogs now as we do My Pillow. I wanted everything covered in sizes from your largest dog to your smallest dog. You can throw them in the washer and dryer. The dogs love it. They asked, and here they are. This is why you get the dog bed. This is the main reason. The dogs love it.
And you've got that 10-year warranty, right?
I can do it because the dogs love it. They don't want to wreck their bed.
And you can get these MyPillow dog beds at a price lower than the big box stores, as low as $19.95. Call 1-800-928-4715, 1-800-928-4715, or go to mypillow.com/pet and use my promo code Wyatt. Treat your best friend to a MyPillow dog bed, mypillow.com/pet. Promo code Wyatt. Thanks for listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Marie Wilson, My Friend Irma, March 15th, 1948. The phone is dead, and Jane is going to be mad.
How do you like that? The dame talked the life right out of him.
Poor Louie.
You quiet, chicken.
I can't understand this. Come in.
Telegram for Miss Stacy.
Oh, yes, I'll take it. Here you are, boy.
Thank you, miss.
Yeah, I wonder who it's from. Hey, it's from Richard. Unable to reach you. Phone company says your phone has been disconnected since 3 o'clock. Imperative you notify Teichman to buy. To buy? Oh, Irma. Irma, Al, don't you dare move.
I think I'll go to the dentist. A sight like this I can't take without Novocaine.
Irma Peterson. Al, how could you do a thing like this to me? To Richard? To an innocent man like Mr. Teichman who will lose a fortune?
Oh, we didn't mean it, Jane. You see, we went down to the phone company and I started to throw my weight around, but I didn't know it would land on you.
Oh, Irma.
Well, gee, it's just one of those things, Jane. After all, it's human nature for people to make mistakes, and Chicken and me, we're always going back to nature.
Good night, Al.
Good night. Good night, Chicken.
I'm sorry, Jane.
You're always sorry. You were sorry when you cut a hole in my coat so the moths could fly out. You were sorry the time you put fly paper on the chair because I said I wanted Richard to stick around. You were sorry the time you put Paris green in the candy because St. Patrick's Day was coming. You're always sorry. Now it's too late. I'll be fired in the morning and all on account of you. Good night, Irma. Don't ever speak to me again.
Good night, Jane. Good night, Jane.
She's mad at me. Well, I'm at the office. Gotten all my things together, so when Richard comes back and fires me, it won't take me long to make an exit. Although I've refused to speak to her, Irma's followed me to the office. She's sitting here looking like a cocker spaniel who's just chewed up the rug.
Jane, I'm sorry. Will you ever forgive me?
Irma Peterson.
Miss Stacy, where's Mr. Rhinelander?
Oh, well, you see, Mr. Teichman, Mr. Rhinelander's in Nebraska, but he thought...
I know how he thought. He outthinks everybody.
Yes, but...
Everybody bought, but he was the only one who sold. I made a fortune.
You made...
It was a lucky day for me when I went with the Rhinelander Investment Company. Well, I'll see him later. I'm off to trade in my yacht. Who knows? I may even negotiate for the Queen Mary. I've made a killing. Goodbye.
Irma, I'm sorry. Will you ever forgive me?
Oh, certainly, Jane. All of us can't be bright.
You know something? Right now, I'm in no position to argue with my friend Irma.
Folks, in just a moment, I'm going to tell you the names of more big winners in the $100,000 Lever Fur contest. But first, I'd like to tell you why so many women prefer Swan soap for their complexion care. It's because Swan alone has that wonderful super creamed blend. Why, even the way a cake of Swan feels tells you that it differs from other soaps. Swan has an extra smoothness you can actually feel in the cake itself. You can feel the difference in the lather, too. Swan's lather feels richer, creamier. And Swan's super creamed blend makes that Swan lather rinse away so completely that your skin glows with freshness and life. It's left softer, smoother, younger. No wonder the Swan look is a young look. And now the top winners in the fourth week of the big Lever Fur contest. First prize, Mrs. E.H. Turnock of 5721 Elwood Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You win a gorgeous $3,000 mink coat or the cash. Congratulations, Mrs. Turnock. The second prize winners are Mrs. A.J. McCracken, 1216 Elm Street, Cambridge, Ohio, Mrs. Gladys Carr, Edgewater, Maryland, Mrs. Fred B. Hooper, 135 South Grove, Albany, New York. You each win a luxurious $1,000 fur coat or the cash. Nice going. The other 325 winners in the fourth week's contest will be notified by mail. Listen next week for more winners. And now, may I present Mr. McCullough St. John's, managing editor of Radio Mirror and Photoplay magazines.
Thank you, Mr. Bingman. As the representative of the many thousands of readers of Radio Mirror magazine who have voted My Friend Irma their favorite new comedy program of 1947, I want to present these citations to Cy Howard, the creator and writer, producer, director of My Friend Irma, and to the other wonderful members of the My Friend Irma cast. Congratulations to all of you and to your sponsor, Swan Soap.
Thank you very much, Mr. St. John. We are indeed happy that our friend Irma has such a loyal following. And while the thank yous are being passed around, I'd like to make a bow to the people in our cast who have worked so hard and done so much to make the program a success. My personal thanks go to Marie Wilson and Kathy Lewis, our lovely stars, to Hans Conried, John Brown, Leif Erikson, Gloria Gordon, and Lud Gluskin for his wonderful music. And a special thank you to Park Levy, my writer colleague.
Folks, next Monday evening, listen again to...
Our friend Swan.
With my friend Irma.
Frank Bingman speaking.
March 15th, 1948, My Friend Irma on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks to our friend Ted at RadioMemories.com, who supplies us these Lum and Abner shows that we air here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Fully restored, excellent sound quality, better than what you're hearing from me right now, actually. We go back to March 15th, 1935, this episode of Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. In a desperate effort to secure feed for their animals, Lum and Abner have been accepting feed as admission to their circus. The response has been great. So good, in fact, that Squire Skimp is trying to obtain a third interest in the business. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, Abner and Cedric are over at the circus grounds looking after the animals. And we find Dick Huddleston over at the Jot 'em Down store talking with Lum. Listen.
Oh, yeah, they had the tent packed to the brim last night. Folks was there from clean over Cherry Hill.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. We've got enough feed on hands now to run us all next week.
Well, that's one worry you've got off your mind anyway, Lum.
Oh, yeah. We're going into the circus business right now. You know, I hate to admit to it, Dick, but Dover don't believe Abner made a pretty good deal when he taken over that circus.
Well, I believe you fellas can make some money with it, Lum, if you run it right.
Well, I think I'll get Grandpappy Spears to run my store for me over here and just spend all my time helping Abner run the circus.
What'd you do about Squire Skimp, Lum? You gonna let him in on it with you?
Well, we ain't decided yet. We told Squire last night we'd think it over and let him know today.
Well, of course, it ain't none of my business, Lum, but if I were you fellas now, I'd think that over mighty careful before I took him in as a third partner.
Well, I don't know, Dick. We need somebody that knows something about the circus business, and he claims he was with 2 or 3 circuses back in the 90s or something.
Oh, yeah. I heard him say last night that he'd been with Barnum and Bailey and Hagenbeck Wallace.
Yeah, he ought to be just the feller we're looking for.
Sure, Squire'd make you a good man, Lum. He's a good promoter. I'll hand him that. He can put over most anything that he sets his head to do.
Oh, yeah. He'll be good to stand out there in front and make them speeches about what all we've got inside the tent. You know,
ballyhoo man, or barker, I believe they call him.
Yeah, well, he'll make a gooder in whatever they are. And he's got some good ideas about how a circus ought to be run.
Sure, but Lum, there ain't no use in giving him a third interest in it, though.
Well, of course, that's a proposition he made us.
Yeah, but if you just hire him, Lum, pay him so much a month, that's it.
You mean not make him no partner in it at all?
Why, no, just pay him a salary.
Salary?
Yeah, just so much a month.
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, that's a thing to do, sure.
You fellas had enough dealings with Squire to know by this time that you can't put no trust in him. As long as he's working for you and can't get his hands on any of the money, why, you're all right.
Oh, well, I ain't scared of him beating us out of nothing. I know him well enough to know that the body's got to keep his eye on him.
Yeah, well, he'll beat you now if you don't watch him, I'll tell him that.
Well, don't you worry about Squire getting the best of me. You know that old lettered saying, it takes a crook to beat a crook. No. You don't believe that'll work very well. Anyway, I aim to see that he don't get to handle none of the cash money.
Yeah, well, now, if you can arrange it that way, well, I believe he'll make you a good man.
Wait a minute, here comes Abner. Yeah. I hope he ain't made no deal with Squire already. That idea of yours there, Dick, about just hiring Squire to work on a salary is a good one, I believe.
Sure, and you can get him at your own price, Lum. Hire him for a song and sing it yourself. I could tell last night that he's awful anxious to get back in the circus business the way he talks.
Oh, yeah. Quick as he come over and seen that sawdust around there in the tent, he's just like an old fire horse.
Well, howdy, man, howdy.
Well, come in, Abner. I'm glad you come over. You ain't saw Squire Skimp today, have you?
Yeah, he was down there a while ago, wanted to know what we'd decided, and I told him we hadn't had a chance to talk it over yet.
Yeah.
He'll be over here directly.
Oh, he will. Well, fine.
And say, Dick, when I come by your store just now, your woman said to tell you to get on back over there. She's got to go to the Missionary Society meeting.
By Jack, that's right. I'd forgot all about that. Well, I better get on back over there then, fellas. I'll see you fellas later then.
All right, Dick. Come back again.
I hope she don't give you no licking. Oh, she was mad.
Oh, is she? You say Squire's coming over here?
Yeah, he said he'd be over here directly.
Well, Abner, I've been turning that proposition of his over in my mind, sort of backwards and forwards.
Uh-huh.
I figured out the best way to do is just hire Squire to work for us. Ain't no need in giving him a third interest in the circus. Just put him on a salary.
Yeah. Well, it'd be fine if he'll do it.
Oh, well, he'll do it. You don't need to worry about that. The way he's a hankering to get back in the circus business, we can hire him for a song and sing it ourselves.
Oh, yeah, Bobby could tell he, huh?
Huh?
Yeah, what was you said there about hiring Squire to sing?
I never said nothing about him singing. I said we could hire him for a song and sing it ourselves.
Well, what's the use to hire him if we're going to sing it ourselves?
We ain't going to sing it ourselves.
Well, regardless of who sings it, I don't believe we need no singing in the circus. Folks come there to see the animal.
Well, Abner, you've got it all mixed up. Ain't nobody going to sing no song.
Well, I'm proud you changed your mind about that.
I never changed my mind. I never meant for nobody to sing in the first place.
Oh, you just joking about that, huh? I thought you meant it.
No, but that's just an old Eddard saying. I mean, the squire's so anxious to get in the circus with us that we can hire him cheap. Hire him for a song and sing it ourselves.
Well, that's cheap enough. We better do that then if we can.
Yeah, that was my views on it. That's a heap better than giving him a third interest in the
Oh, yeah, I reckon it is, sure.
circus. Wait a minute, I believe that's him coming up out there now.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, we can try it out on him anyway. Ain't gonna hurt nothing to try.
Why, no. But I still got my doubts about him doing it, Mom. He's a hard feller to deal with.
Howdy, Squire. Come in. Here, we were just waiting for you.
Yeah,
good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Come on back and sit down, Squire. We were just talking about you just before you come in.
Yeah, we sure were.
We've got a little different proposition to offer you from what we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, how's this, Squire? She's only a bird in a gilded cage, a beautiful sight to see.
For garden
you may
seed.
think that she's happy
What's
and
eating you,
free from care. She's not.
Have you lost
so
your
she
mind?
seems to be.
What do you think you're doing?
Will you take it, Squire?
Take it? Will I take what, Abner?
Will you work for that?
Oh, for goodness sake, I know what he's doing.
Well, I don't believe I know what you mean, Abner.
Don't pay no attention to him, Squire. Sit down.
Yeah, I never thought it'd work in the first place.
Squire, me and Abner's been talking over this proposition of yours, and whilst we'd love to have you in the circus with us, well, we ain't going to take in no third partner. Now, if you want to go and work for us on a salary, why, we're ready to talk business with you.
Well, now, that sort of depends, Lum. How much of a salary do you gentlemen figure you can pay? With all the experience that I've had in this business, you know, why, I ought to command a pretty good salary.
Well, I think so.
Why, sure, yeah.
Tell you what we'll do, Squire. We'll start you off at $100 a month.
$100 a month, huh?
Yeah, and if the circus is going good and we're making money, we'll raise your salary along. Live and let live's my motto.
Well, I'll tell you, men, if you'll turn me loose, let me turn this into a #1 circus, I'll take you up on that offer.
Well, that's what we want you to do, Squire. Just take hold of it and show us where we can improve it.
Yeah, well, now, you see the way it is now, men. Well, there's no show to it at all. It's just a collection of animals on display over there.
Yeah.
And there's some of them that I want to get shut off, too. Some of them we ain't got no use for over there. Like that cow. She ain't no circus animal.
No.
Well, now, right there's where you're wrong, Abner. You was telling me yesterday about that professor from Shady Grove giving her a name. She's a sacred cow from India.
Yeah, that's what he called her, Abner.
Yeah, that's right. But I know we ain't got no use for them 2 hound dogs over there.
Abner, them 2 dogs is imported English foxhounds. Don't forget that. The 2 favorite hunting dogs of King George himself.
Yeah.
Well, I do know. Well, I'll bet old Ike Reynolds would kick himself for ever swapping them if he knowed that.
And it's a good source to get the members of our flea circus from, too.
Yeah, the thing we got to get shut of is them rabbits. Them just a nuisance over there,
Yeah.
just taking the place. Last count Cedric made over there said we had 411 of them.
One of our main attractions, Lum, one of our main attractions.
Yeah.
The largest single collection of genuine Belgium hare rabbits in the world today. Well, I figure them rabbits will draw as many people in there as our white elephant will.
White elephant?
Yeah, we ain't got no white elephants, Squire.
No.
Not now, men, not now. But we will have. The only white elephant on exhibition in America today. You got the elephant, and I'll get the whitewash.
Oh.
Yeah, we got to get shut of them white mice over there before they run the elephants clean off.
Yeah, we sure have.
No, there's where you're wrong again, men. That's one of our biggest attractions right there. Why, men, we're the only people of today that are able to exhibit before the good people of this country a collection of sacred white mice, honored in worship at the Temple of Abadab. And now that lion you've got over there is the most ferocious beast in captivity today, brought to this country with the great expense to the government and the loss of 14
Wait a minute.
lives.
Where about you going, Abner?
I'm going over to that circus to look at them animals again.
Well, that's all you did for a week, is sit over there and look at them.
Yeah, but I never knowed how wonderful they was till just now. I know that we've got something there.
Well, we can see right now that Squire is going to make a valuable addition to the circus. This is Carlton Brickert, speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlicks, who now bid you all good night and good health.
Some people might say that Lum and Abner and Pine Ridge themselves are circuses, but now this is a full three-ring affair, believe it or not. March 15th, 1935, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And a reminder, our friend Ted at RadioMemories.com supplies shows on cassette, CD, or flash drive for your computer, including the full run of Lum and Abner from back in the day. Visit Ted at RadioMemories.com. RadioMemories.com. Thank this radio station. Support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allow us to be with you each and every time you roll around here on your favorite radio station. Now, if you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available on demand at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. Stream our shows on demand all 21 hours a week. Learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me, find our social media links, and if you're so inclined to help the show, you can buy me a coffee. That buy me a coffee money helps us acquire additional classic radio collections, and it also helps us maintain our distribution channels. classicradio.stream. Thank you for tuning in. Tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.